Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are year 1 student from Diploma in Mechanical Engineering. Today, we are from Group 3, Section 7 for Mechanical Engineering Workshop 2. Foundry Lab will present about sand casting and loss form casting. First and foremost, I will introduce our team members. First, me, Muhammad Luqman Hakim bin Abdul Aziz, AA211045. Second one is Muhammad Nur Hafizuddin bin Muhammad Rizal, AA212013. And the third one is Muhammad Ifan Zakri Rawiani, AA211061.
The objective from sand casting and loss form casting is to gain a general and clear understanding of sand casting and loss form casting process. With the help of lecturer and assistant, student can ask questions to them about the matter. The next objective is to give exposure to student how about sand casting and loss form casting with these students who want to work a company, and as these two process no longer need to learn many things about it because they have learned. The last objective of this process, student can find out about what material are used, defect, how they occur, and how to overcome.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Irfan. I'm going to continue our presentation about safety. First, always wear eye protection, glove, pad covering the upper part of the foot, and thick clothing that covers all the exposed part of the skin. Second, the floor in the pouring area should be clean of all objects and not involved in the pouring. 3. The metal added to the heat must be free of moisture and impurities. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. So now we move on to design of sand casting. In design of sand casting, first we discuss about mold. Mold is contains cavity whose geometry determines part shapes. So actual size and shape of cavity must be slightly oversized to allow for shrinkage of metal during solidification and cooling. Molds are also made by compacting sand around the shape of the pattern. So, as we know, uh, mold have two forms, which is first open mold and second closed mold. Open mold is simply a container in the shape of the desired part, and closed mold is the mold geometry is more complex and requires a gating system passageway leading into the cavity. So what is gating system? Alright, gating system is channel through which molten metal flows into cavity from outside of the mold. Gating system also consists of a down sprue through which metal enters a runner leading to the main cavity. So as we can see here in the figure, at the top of down sprue, a pouring cup is often used to minimize splash and turbulence as the metal flows into down sprue. Next, the third one is pattern. So patterns are made of wood, metal, and plastic, which the material must be stronger if a large number of molds are to be made. A parting agent can be used on a pattern to allow easy removal after the mold is made. Design of the pattern should include consideration of shrinkage. So slight taper should be added to the side of all pattern. This will make them easy to remove from the complete mold. A, for example, a cone is easier to remove than a cylinder. So we discussed about pattern types. Pattern types have two patterns. First is one piece patterns, which is loose or solid patterns, and the second one is split patterns. One piece pattern is low quantity simple shapes, and split patterns for complex shapes made in two patterns for each half of the part. So next, I will present about the design of our lost form casting product. First, we will discuss about the mold. Our mold of lost form casting product is made of silica sand. For the purpose of molding metals in several shapes, it is used in the foundry industry. Metal parts are cast into the sand to produce the new metal molds. Next is getting system. So for lost form casting product, we use pouring basin. Pouring basin is the part of the getting system in pouring basin is made on or in the top of the mold. Sometimes a funnel shaped opening which serves as pouring basin is made at the top of the sprue in the cope. And last one is pattern. In lost form casting, we use single piece pattern. Single piece pattern is the cheapest pattern type. This sort is often used in the case where the casting is simple, the surface is flat, and production volume is small, as well as in prototype development.
The first defect we can see on our workpiece is pinhole. Pinhole can happen when too much height measure in sand molding mixture, molten metal transport tool are wet, gasified sand is insufficient, and over high temperature of molten metal. We can prevent it when control the added moisture content in the sand mold and ensure molding sand is dry and permeable. The second defect we can see is code shot. Code shot in casting are line or crack formed in the middle part of the casting surface in a top edge resulting in a weak spot. Code shot are visibly by naked eye and casting are often rejected if containing code shot defects. The defect can be happen when the molten metal is lack of fluidity and the getting system is designed inappropriately. And then we can prevent it with design the getting system appropriately and limit the measure solidified process by increasing the pouring temperature. Using is the last defect we can see on our workpiece. For your information, fusion is sand casting defect in which sand grade with metal flows resulting in a disgust with a gassy and brick look attached to the casting. There are many reasons that can make it happen, include the sand has low refractiveness property, and we can prevent it with design proper getting system, lower the propping temperature, higher the pressure and of sand mold by adding silica sand.
So I will discuss about the defect of lost form casting product. So first is swells. Swells are an enlargement of the casting. Swells typically take on the shape of a slight, smooth bulge and the vertical face of castings. Causes and prevention of swells. Swell is usually caused by improper or soft framing of the mold or a low-strength mold. Molds should be built to withstand liquid metal pressure, otherwise the mold wall may give way or move back, causing swelling. Using a strong, properly ramed mold prevents swells. The second defect is cold shut. Cold shut is a type of the surface defect. We will see a line or a crack with a round edge on the casting surface of our product. This defect is visible to the naked eye and often results in rejecting the cast as it creates a weak spot. Causes and prevention of the cold shut is when molten metal enters the mold from two gates, the streams will meet at a junction. Low temperatures can prevent fusion at the junction, causing the streams to solidify before fusion, creating a cold shut. Cold shut is usually a result of a lack of fluidity of the molten metal or a poor design of the gating system. So the best way to prevent cold shut is to increase fluidity of the molten metal. First is optimize gating system to minimize narrow cross path and ensure short flow path. Second one is increase the pouring temperature to prevent premature solidification. And last one is improve gas permeability of the mold through coarser grain size. And the third defect is slag inclusion or scab. These irregular metallic crusts are found on our result casting surface. Scabs are typically only a few millimeters thick but can be seen by the naked eye. They usually have sharp edge, irregular shapes, and are firmly bonded to the casting. So scabs are closely related to rat tails and they usually appear together. Removal of scabs will typically reveal a rat tail underneath. Causes and prevention of slag inclusion is caused when molten metal containing slag particles is poured into the mold cavities and solidifies. So preventing slag inclusion is a simple fix. We can remove slag particles from the molten metal before pouring it into the mold cavity. So the way to remove slag is first is melting the metal with a flux in a vacuum or in an inert atmosphere. Second is adding ingredients to the mixture to cause slag to float to the top where we can easily see and remove it before pouring, or use a special ladder that pours metal from the bottom. And lastly is adding a ceramic filter into the gating system.
I am going to continue our presentation about advantages of sand casting and lost form casting. First of all, I'm going to start with sand casting. From here, I'm going to list out all the advantages that we found and suitable with the sand casting topic. First, easy to scale. Second, capable of performing casting process with all size. Next, it can be used to manufacture the interior of almost all metallic material, including metal with high melting points. Second last, the production cost to perform sand casting is low. Lastly, complete geometry with thin wall section. Thank you. I'm going to continue our presentation about advantages of lost form casting. The last one. First of all, there is no additive binders or cores are required in performing lost form casting. Second, reduce energy and manpower requirement. Third, dimensional accuracy from aspect of the net shape capabilities of lost form testing outpace all other technology. 5. The amount of waste is minimalized. The last one is reduce machining and finishing requirement. That's all from me about the advantages of lost form casting and sand casting. Thank you very much for your attention, and that brings us to the end of the presentation. I would like to summarize by saying thousand thank you from us and hope we get a good result for our presentation. Thank you.